Welcome to Market Like a Hotshot. Jeff DeSocio, James Feudo.
How are you?
What's up?
Episode
What is it, 15?
15. Can you
15.
believe that?
They actually haven't kicked us out of the studio yet. It's crazy. What about this weather lately?
Yeah.
New England in September is like number one. What do you think?
It's actually been kind of interesting because there's days where it's like 50 in the morning and then 80 in the afternoon. So it's like you never really know how to dress. You got to dress in layers, and it's like, you ready to put bring the boots out and the coats out yet. We're not
Then you're
quite
standing in
there.
flip-flops in the afternoon. That's
Yeah.
New England for you. So, wait, the other thing about New England and Boston, great events. I know we both went to Startup Boston.
Yeah.
Shout out to Stephanie Rulick and company out there in there at Suffolk University last week. Wasn't
Yeah.
that great?
That was an incredible event. Really enjoyed it last week. And a huge shout out again to Stephanie and her team for putting that all together. Amazing event. I found the sessions that I went to were very, very helpful.
Yeah.
It certainly exceeded my expectations. I didn't really know at first what to expect. I've been to things like this before, and a lot of times those breakout sessions are not spectacular, but in this case, they were all phenomenal. I walked away with a lot of great ideas and really excited about next year's event.
Yeah, I learned a little bit more about cold calling.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I hate cold calling, to be honest with you. But you know what? Yes, last couple days, I mean, that's all I've been doing.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
nuts, right? You're in the world of sales. You're like, Jeff, really?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be a sales guy. But anyways, today we're gonna prompt like a hotshot. People are like, what? Prompt like a hotshot?
Yeah.
What is prompt engineering?
See, it's funny how when we talk about things like prompt engineering, think back, you and I have been around for a while in the industry, and it makes me think back to when the internet was a new thing. And people, like, I know you probably saw this, you weren't in recruiting back then, but you probably remember this, where people would put on their resume as a skill the ability to search the internet.
Yeah, I'm a
Right?
Googler.
Yeah, it's like Google, being able to use Google or Yahoo or Alta
Yeah.
Vista or whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
People were actually putting that stuff on their resume like back then, and it was normal. And today it's kind of like, it'd be like putting breathing on your
My 83-year-old mother Googles all the
Yeah.
time. She Yahoos too.
Nice.
It's great. But now
She doesn't-
today, what's that?
Does she bing?
She bings too. She bings, she Googles,
Yeah.
now she's starting to GPT it. And
Right.
she's a co-pilot person, which is shocking me.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't even own a computer
Right.
about 10 years ago. And now she's like, oh, I just use Copilot. I was like, Mom, you know about Copilot, right? So now the verbs have changed, right? The verbs have changed over the years. We're not Googling it or Binging it.
Right.
Now we're GPTing it, right? So, and it's really helped automate. I know we talked about AI a few episodes ago.
Yeah, episode 4.
But today, what we want to do is kind of dig into, some suggested prompts.
Right.
And I'm going to start with you today. I'm going to talk about my brain fog stuff later. But you're in the world of marketing. You're interacting with customers.
Yeah.
You're dealing with legal stuff all the time. So let's give me a couple of good, as a small business owner, what prompts you would use on a regular basis.
So a couple that come to mind right away, and you probably have done these as well. So the first one is email. A lot of times I'll have Copilot or ChatGPT review my email for tone and for the impression it's giving the receiver. So I would put something in there like, here's an email I'm about to send. This is who I'm sending it to. This is why. This is the message I'm trying to get across. Please read this email and tell me from that person's perspective, the tone of the email, what it's asking them to do, how they're feeling about that email. And also, don't be nice about it just to not hurt my feelings. So I will put stuff like that in there. That's something that I found to be super helpful.
Email communication is a great prompt, right?
Yeah.
So how about, all right, so you have a tough customer,
Mm-hmm.
right? You need your pseudo lawyer. You don't want to pay for a lawyer.
Right.
How would you use a prompt for that?
That's and that's something you've got to be careful of because of what they call hallucination that you get from AI, right?
Yeah.
And it can in some places, give you legal advice, but the thing is, it's like with anything you want to check with a lawyer. Just like, on TV, you see something like, oh, 5 out of 6 doctors prefer this thing, and then it's like, but check with your doctor first,
Check your
because
doctor.
your doctor may be that 1 out of 6 that does.
Yeah, it figures. Probably would happen that way, right?
Right.
So yeah, so it's more like I think it's communication's really key, right? How to write a
Communication is
letter
huge,
and all
yeah.
that. And then I talk about the brain fog approach,
Right.
right? Everyone know, especially in the afternoon. I don't know about the crowd out here, right? We have a few guests out in the back there. Yeah, don't you have that brain fog scenario at 2 p.m. every day? But then you need to get some marketing, you need to get some social media posts done, or you need to send out a letter, or you need to, in my case, write a resume. I'll tell you, that's instead of taking some sort of supplement, I think it's co-pilots to the rescue, right? Co-pilot or GPT, because
Yeah.
I would use it like I want to write a social media post about the weather today in Massachusetts. It's wild.
Yeah.
Write an intriguing, funny post about the weather in Massachusetts. Hit enter. There's your post. You want to tweak it for Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, whatever you want, whatever your favorite platform of choice is. It really, like, if you have a bad day and your brain's going nowhere, if you're a musician, you want to write a song, although I've heard there's some AI musicians out there now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so but it really, I think it's like when you have that brain block, that's where I use prompts, because I have a lot of brain block in the afternoon.
Yeah. It's funny you mention that, because I had that instance at 1:30 this morning where I couldn't fall asleep for some reason. I had just a lot of stuff in my mind.
Yeah.
And later this week, there's an evening where I was trying to decide between 2 events that I wanted to attend. And I'm like, ooh, there's pros and cons. So what did I do? At 1:30 in the morning, I'm typing in, I'm trying to decide between these 2 events. Here's here's all the details about each of the events. This is my perceived benefit from going to either event. These are the goals that I have, and help me create a matrix that I can use so I can make a decision as to which one's the better one to fit. And I thought it was good because I use it a lot to organize my thoughts. Like, I have a lot of, I always joke, if you could see my brain, it would be like a bunch of tornadoes going in there.
That's not
Right.
good. Now we're in Kansas instead
No,
of
but like, I mean, it's like I feel like I have a lot of stuff that I'm always thinking about at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's for me, and I know a lot of entrepreneurs are in that situation. You're probably, well, you may only have a couple tornadoes in your brain, but
I have 5. But yeah, so it's basically, we talk about the brain block, and I love the idea of a decision matrix.
Yeah.
That is a great prompt. Email communication decision matrix. Now, here's a good one, right, for you single folks out there. You went on 2 dates this week.
Ah.
You put their names down. You describe them, right? Which one should I ask out on a second date? That's a fun prompt, right?
Yeah.
Because again, it's a decision matrix, right? So you can use it for personal stuff. Doesn't have to be business, right?
And then your AI might actually come back and have a relationship with.
Oh, geez, yeah. People are getting married to AI.
They are. Like, that's the crazy thing. It's like,
So yeah, so it's great. We got 2 prompt examples right there.
Right.
How to communicate, helping you make a decision. What's another good one that you've used?
On the more technical side, a lot of people are starting to use AI to code. It's still not where it needs to be. It has improved a lot in the last year. I found it to be pretty helpful for some basic coding, but here's the thing, and you used to do coding, you kind of understand how it works, right?
I did.
Yeah, and it's like,
It's a big one.
but it opens you up to a couple of different things. Is that a lot of times it doesn't give you correct code, and when you don't have correct code, the problem is that you have to debug it. So you need to, like, if you have no technical skills whatsoever or no software engineering background, you can have AI write code for you, and it may work.
Yeah.
But when it doesn't, you're going to be in a really challenging situation.
Yeah, I always look at it as more of a guideline. I mean, for the software engineers out there, again, I'm going to go back to our previous topic, brain block.
Yeah.
I can't code today. My brain is stopped. Use AI to be able to, do a prompt to say, write a code to, understand what the weather is in like Antarctica the next week.
Right.
I don't know. I'm thinking something crazy right now, but if you're doing a project or something like that, you would want to use it for that.
Yeah. I mean, like there's with code a lot of times too, I've put it in there like I've written a function or a piece of code that I'm like, please review this and refactor it. And then I have unit tests that I can run. So what I'm saying is just that, I'll have a piece of code that I've written and I want it to be more efficient or handle potential weird situations that we call error handling so that it gracefully exits when there's a problem.
Yep.
Like, let's say you're coding a calculator and you type in the letter A plus B, right? That may give it may blow up if you don't have your code set up correctly, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
exactly.
AI can go in and help you with basic things like that. It can do some more complex things too, but you need a way to be able to test it and make sure
Yeah, you
it's
still need
working.
the skills. So
Yeah.
computer science grads out there, no fret, don't worry about it. I
Right.
think it's just more of a tool. And what I'm seeing, I'm gonna put my recruiter hat out there. I'm honestly seeing companies hiring less software engineers. They are hiring software engineers,
Right.
but less of them for this reason, because there's a lot more automation out there. I'm seeing it a little bit more in the QA, the testing side of things.
Right.
Like you don't need to have all these people pressing buttons they used to the old days, right?
Yeah.
Now it's
With automated
it's all automated. So
Yeah.
so another so our third prompt really is helping with automation of your day-to-day job,
Right.
really. And as a marketer, you talked about a techie, a software engineer.
Yeah.
What do marketers do? I mean, really, they track the right demographic for
Yeah.
a product or service. What's a typical prompt? I know this is a loose one, right? This could be a big topic.
Right.
What's a good example of a good prompt for a marketer? What are we selling today? We're selling a new Honda Accord.
Yeah.
What's your suggestion there?
So I think the thing is that you would do a prompt something to the effect of, I own a car dealership and I want to move some of these Honda Accords out. Um, Help me come up with some fun ideas to promote this car,
Yeah.
and then I would put in some details about it. Although, I mean, ChatGPT can go and search the web and knows more details about a Honda Accord than either one of us would.
Probably
Both of us having owned them.
Probably the car dealers too.
Right.
Probably knows more, right?
Yeah, they know a lot. It'll know a lot of data from the web. It'll have consumer reports, all
Yeah.
those details. But yeah, you can take that and just say, I'm trying to accomplish this. I mean, that's really what you're asking it. I'm trying to
Yeah.
accomplish this. Here's the information. This is what I'm looking for. Please, so that's what I would do. I would just say, I sell Honda Accords and I want to move some out the door.
Yeah,
My goal is
it's almost like it's your own marketing.
Yeah.
Like
It's like a strategist.
strategist before you actually close deals
Yeah.
on the floor, right? So it's good. It's good. I mean, it's just think about this though, James. 5 years ago, we didn't have all this.
No.
None of this, right?
No.
We didn't have any of these tools, and I've had a 30-something year career. I don't know why I say too many years because people think I'm old, but I am old. But it's just I remember I actually went to class at Northeastern and used punch cards.
Yeah.
Right.
I had that.
And then it was cool. We built our own internet. We built our own internal internet at Northeastern.
Yeah.
That was one of our projects. We're like, woo, wow, I could talk to you. I could talk to you. Right. And then, Trust.com came out. Fast forward now we're here. But it seems like this evolution's much quicker. Right?
Yeah, I mean the cycles go faster and faster, and you've got to stay on top of things a lot more so that I was talking to a class this week, so shout out to Emily.
Emily,
Jeff will be there in 2
I'll be
weeks.
there in 2 weeks.
He'll be there on my birthday, actually.
Clark University, Worcester, Mass.
Yeah, so
29.
but it was one of the things that we talked about is that if you're in an industry such as finance or accounting where generally accepted accounting principles haven't really changed since I was in college 30 years ago, right?
Yeah.
But technology has. So if you decide to take 10 years off and travel the world, right?
Yeah. I want to take 10 years.
I know.
Where would you
Nice?
go? Where would you go for 10 years? It's like get a sailboat and go to
Yeah,
like,
I'd start probably in Portugal and make my way all the way through Eurasia till Japan. I know. I always think it's
You want to go too far north because then you might hit an iceberg or something.
Go hit Iceland. But I mean, yeah, there's a lot of traveling to do. But the bottom line is this, is that in some fields, the learning curve, so like if you are in accounting, there is a learning curve to get back up to speed.
Yeah,
Um, but a lot of those fundamentals and underlying concepts are all still
they're
pretty
still
valid.
there. Yeah,
In technology, even in software engineering, there are certain concepts that haven't changed in 20, 30 years.
yeah,
But the tools have really changed drastically, and that's where if you are into technology and you're not on top of everything, you're at a
it's
disadvantage.
brutal. So,
Yeah.
so that's the whole idea. So thinking about prompts again, prompts are it's your friend, right?
Yeah.
It's your friend and what you want to do. So you're a prompt engineer. What that really means is when you go into a Copilot or Gemini or whatever, you
Yeah.
notice that
Whatever
Google
tool.
search has Gemini built into it now.
Right.
You prompt something. You say, I want to blah, 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 do this. Hit enter. That's if everyone wants to know what's prompt engineering, that's essentially what it is. You're prompting a question or a
Yeah.
scenario and getting a result. It's almost like talking to an expert out there, a human expert, but instead it's
Yeah.
computers. It's technology in the background. It's artificial intelligence. That's really what it is. So
Sure.
how about some hot shot tactics, right? So, all right. So we're just thinking about someone out there listening to us today. What's some of the ways for them to start getting pretty savvy in prompt engineering? Yeah, and we
Yeah.
can go back and forth there.
Well, I would say the first thing is to just really understand the question that you want to ask.
So
That's the
make sure it's
first thing.
clear.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy how intelligent AI is because I can put like something that makes no sense in it.
Yeah.
It would actually look at some of your previous prompts, say, oh yeah, this is Jeff the socio, yeah, and all that. But that's so yeah, you wanna understand how to write a prompt. That's the big one. How about another one?
Going back to what you said about how it remembers what you've typed in before, I mean, some people actually use AI for therapy. Like that's how well it reminds them. So if you can imagine that people can actually use it effectively for therapy,
Yeah.
you can use it for other types of guidance as well.
Yeah.
So like asking it questions about, based on what you know about me, what are some areas that, what are my strengths and weaknesses? Like you can almost have it pretend it's an interviewer
Yeah.
and ask you different questions about yourself. So that's another tactic I would.
Well, I heard you're a great guitar player from back in episode 2. Yeah. So that was a big one, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's a good one. And then I think again, being tactical about it is honestly take a class.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be afraid of it. Just don't, because you can't be. This is something that you can't just say, I'm not going to do this, whatever, unless you plan on just, on being retired, I guess, and not caring. But, it's take a class. You can actually ask GPT, what's the best online class I can take to learn about AI?
That's true. I never thought about that.
You could prompt for a prompt
good-
about prompt engineering, right? So
Yeah.
that's another. So you could ask AI to be able to to learn about it, right? And then people are aware. Plus, it's what is it? Chat.openai.com. There's Copilot. It's built into Microsoft.
Yeah.
There most of
Giant
the
tools out there. It's
most-
like Sriracha. It's like in everything.
yeah, it is. And there's
now
apps.
with AI.
I
Phones
mean,
come with them.
I shouldn't say this, but I was sitting at a traffic light. I pulled up the chat app on my phone. I need to respond to a client today. How should I respond to this person today?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Got an answer,
Yeah.
So this is another thing. So learn about, definitely be a learner. We're all learning about it. Nobody was using this 5 years ago. So it's good stuff, man.
Yeah, and I mean along those lines, one final thing, and then we can come in for that. You know
That the
what?
plane
Yeah,
lands
the
into
plane will be on its way.
Framingham International Airport.
But like, as you had mentioned, there's a lot of I think we've been conditioned as a society that AI can be both good and bad. And
Yeah.
a lot of people they focus on movies like Terminator and Tron, where the AI takes control. There's all these different movies where that happens, and there's probably a dozen of them in the last year that have come out. But see it more as a tool and make sure that you really understand it, because a lot of times people have opinions on AI,
Yeah.
but they haven't really done their research on it to see what it's really all about. So,
Yeah, learn about it. Never take somebody's word for it. Learn for yourself.
right.
So hey, market like a hot shot. I heard we got merch now, right?
We have merch up
We
on
have
our
merch,
website.
marketlikeahotshot.com. You can see our merch store. And of course, we're on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, iHeartRadio, and
YouTube.
YouTube to see our beautiful Italian faces.
Actually, on Spotify, they can see us too.
You can see
We're
us
video.
too. I look short again. Just like I look short right now. It's like, why like this little Italian dude. So yeah, so definitely check out the merch, subscribe to us, share with your friends. We'd like to hear from you too. Contact us if you like us to chat about something. And I think we'll be good, man. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right. Jeff DeSocio,
James Futo.
mark like a hot shot, prompt like a hot shot. Have a great day.